Good morrow, everyone. Welcome to the Nexus at Night podcast, your weekly Vanguard podcast brought to you by everybody, the internet. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
I am OuterOrange. Hello.
Welcome
Hi
back,
again.
Orange.
Hello.
Good to be back.
So this week we're, as we covered Premium last week on the show at BRO 2021, we're going to be talking about V Premium, which, Orange, you were a commentator on some of the matches, right?
I was a commentator for both Saturday and Sunday. So I was there all day Saturday for Swiss, and then I was there all day Sunday. And Sunday I commentated the whole day, and Saturday I think I missed like 2 or 3 matches, but I was pretty much commentating the whole day too.
Oh my god, that sounds crazy.
It was really fun, actually. It was fun to meet Toku, who's part of Yellow Card, and then Philip, who's part of Top Deck Heroes. So it was really fun to commentate with them.
Mhm.
Toku's shirt on Saturday was very nice.
I remember, was that the way that he wore
The
purple?
floral one.
Yeah, it was the floral one.
The floral one was good.
They honestly, everybody with their suits and stuff, everybody looks so clean.
I missed like all of it, so I'm sorry I
Same.
didn't get to see everyone suiting up.
How dare you not represent? I'm just kidding. It's fine.
I caught a lot of angel feather mirrors randomly somehow, and like a lot of Prism versus X.
Yeah, that's going to be the kind of overarching theme. Unlike Premium, which had a pretty healthy mix of stuff, the top 8s in all 3 regions look like this, which is a lot.
Hey, there was that one harmony or melody deck, it looks like.
How does
Yeah, it's
Narukami in here?
pawn.
Who let the
All right.
Narukami in?
For people listening, it's out of 24 top 8s, you have 10 Bermuda Triangle, 5 Shadow Paladin, 2 Link Joker, 2 Angel Feather, 2 Gray and Blue, a Narukami, a Murakumo, and an Aquaforce. And a Partridge and a Pear Tree.
I think this pretty accurately reflects what people are playing in this metagame.
Yeah, I
Sounds
agree.
about right.
Honestly, it's a little bit more diverse than you would expect. Like, I think more people are expecting like just straight Prism, Angel Feather, and Luard. And luckily enough, we did see some other decks kind of sprinkle themselves in there.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Prism just doesn't hit stuff, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. As a Prism player, I know. Sometimes I just don't see anything, and I'm like,
Sedna, please.
just hit something. Just give me Q-tie. I don't care.
See, now the problem is I don't play enough V Premium to really know. Like, I just made Grey Nature and Pale Moon just because I had the leftovers to do it. It was less of like actually caring about the metagame. But what do you think about V Premium on the whole, Orange?
Honestly, if I'm gonna be real, I really, really like V Premium. However, we have been in the Angel Feather, Prism, Luard, Uranus, whatever you want to call it, meta for like pretty much a year now. And personally, I am like just a little bit tired of it. However, the tier right below it, just the tier right below it is freaking amazing. There's just all these cool, interactive, and fun, unique decks. There's so many cool things you can build. Like there's just so much variety, and they're all really super fun. So I'm not really the kind of person that likes ban lists, but I do hope that there's some kind of shift, and preferably I hope it happens sooner than later. Because as someone that's been playing VPRM this entire time, I am a little sick and tired of the Angel Feather, Prism, Angel Feather, Prism, Angel Feather, Prism. I am kind of tired of just those matchups. So that's pretty much my personal take.
Oh, we're all tired of Aqua.
Yeah.
There's only 2 ways to get people to not play Prism and Angel Feather anymore: is make other stuff better or hit it.
Yeah, probably hitting it will both decks. Probably hitting both decks will be the best goal. I was kind of surprised we didn't see any golds topping, and honestly, Spectral Duke is actually very, very strong. It's a literal force deck in an Excel clan, so that deck is actually doing a lot of spooky stuff. So if those 2 decks drop, we can see golds just randomly just going like this, because all their builds right now are all good. They all have the 2 dumbest cards in the game right now, which is Percival and Agavale together. So they all just get good.
That's dumb and premium too. So
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was talking with several people in one of my other Discords that basically were shocked to see no Spectral Duke.
Yeah,
But
there should have been at least one. It was very surprising.
I guess everyone who would have taken Duke just like, I'll just take Luard.
Yeah, it is a force deck against a force deck, right? Which force deck do you prefer today?
Right.
Man, golds in general seem like they not even underperformed, just didn't show up.
Right.
Yeah.
In premium, a lot of them were there, and they appear to be bubbled most of the time, or all the time, because none of them were in the top 8s. But like this, there were just not a lot of them appearing.
Yeah, there's some kind of like obsession for Luard and Grand Blue right now, and I think that's just taken over everything, because we have seen a lot of Luard players in premium and a lot of Grand Blue players in premium. Of course, the Bermudas here and there. So I think because of that, it just kind of shifted gears a little bit, and so I was very surprised myself. I was like, "There's like does no one just want a free Superior Ride win? Just at least one game, just have that one random win. All the rest could be losses, but just that one." I don't know. I don't think the deck is like tier 1, but I do think Spectral is really good. I think the Ezel combination with like other decks and stuff, like the Fury stuff, is decent. I do think you can get steamrolled pretty aggressively against Angel Feather. Maybe that's why a lot of Excel decks were like, you know what? Maybe I'm not gonna play this. I'll go play Grand Blue, where at least I have a protect marker to kind of save me.
Which variant of Angel Feather is it these days?
It's Gavriel that is currently strong. The deck literally just drive checks in the damage zone, consistent crits. You have like 6 to 8 shots every single turn essentially to do it. And 6 to 8 shots, you hit like 2-3 crit, you put it on a card that says I have a guard restrict. The card literally says you can't sentinel, and you have to take between 60 to 100k with like 5-6 crit on it. You just kind of lose.
It's what's the name? Hamiel?
Yes, it is Hamiel.
So one huge upgrade to the deck that I think came out of the newbie collection was that, not of course Heal Guardians are a huge upgrade for everyone, but the bigger upgrade is actually I think Jofkiel.
Oh yes,
which just allows you to completely cut no seal, which they had to play before to get extra damage. But they're like, no, now I can just get it for the turn and then.
Honestly, both cards are really good. The grade 1 is amazing. That's the Jofkiel card. That card literally says bind me to put the top card, right? So you essentially get extra damage in your damage zone. The reason why that's so good is because say your opponents that like purposely keep themselves at low damage just so they can deal with the Hamiel. Well, this card adds damage to your turn for the turn, right? So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just heal out, I'll just heal on the 3rd damage, the 4th damage, you can't do that now. The Ancient Feather player will literally go to 5 damage purposely, and then you can't heal out of it anymore. And then they also got the grade 2 that literally plays like a call bar. You take any card from your deck, put it into your damage, and then use your rescue checks to pick it back up. So you're never going to miss like your Hamios, your Gabriels. You're not going to miss those cards anymore. You're going to get it. So the deck literally got upgraded. Everyone was like, oh, Celestia support. And it's like, no. Gavriel support.
Those cards are super clean. And like I think that just feels like before, like, you're kind of like relying on no seal to kind of push you a little higher to so you have more damage to work with. And now it's just like, no, I'm good.
You don't need that anymore. You just get yourself to 5 damage. There was one guy that was running that grade 2 that gets 20k boost, a 20k power, and she's a grade 2, so she gets boost, so she becomes a 29k, and you have to be at 5 damage for her. So there's one guy that was literally running that card, putting it behind Hamiel, making Hamiel a 100k attacker every single turn, putting themselves to 5. They wouldn't even attack with the Vanguard. They would purposely attack with the rear guard, guarantee that they don't heal out of it, so that booster would hit. It was insane.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Jesus
Big number.
Christ, dude.
Oh yeah, very huge.
Can you believe this is probably not the best deck?
I mean, it's like the thing is, it's like this. Like there are some games you brick and Prism kind of takes over, and then some games Prism bricks and Angel Feather is better. Like I feel like Angel Feather can steamroll faster earlier, but Prism has like the longer game to survive. They're just both so like, it just depends on the circumstances. Did you hit your crits? Okay, well maybe you're not as good today. But Angel Feather, same issue. Did you see all your pieces? Like I guess you're not as good today. But when they're both at their peak, like I think Angel Feather just kills faster.
You did not get good as most people suggest to do. Now, I noticed that like there being 5 Shadow Paladin. What's Luard got to do with all that? That's got to be like in the mix with the other 2, right?
Yeah, so Luard's thing is, so think of it this way. Prism is a deck that attacks you 5 times for 1 damage, and you have a triple drive, right? Luard says, I can attack 4 to 5 times, but I have 2 crit, and I have double the force markers that you do. So because of that, Luard scales so much faster as a force deck. So essentially it can kill a lot of decks a little bit faster. Whereas Prism can get in these weird circumstances where it faces Night Rose, and Night Rose is like, hi, take a dragon, and you just don't have the perfect guard or don't have the hand to hard guard it. Whereas Luard doesn't really have to think about that. They could just kill you before all those other win cons start coming in. So that's why I think now granted, I will say, and I should probably put this disclaimer, I'm not a Shadow Paladin player. So this is just personal speculation based off how the two decks work. I know what the deck does. I don't play the deck though, but personally, between the filtering, the crits, the intercepting that the deck can do, the draw, the marker spam it can do, I can see why it's winning. Like a lot of it's like pretty much saying like, oh, like you could play like this force deck, but why would you do that when you could play Luard or Prism? Like it just why? Like you could play Jet, or you could just play Luard. You could play like, I don't know, like another Bermuda Triangle deck, like I don't know, like Lapina. You could just play Prism. Like it's just those two decks do exactly what Force Clans want to do. They spam markers, they attack multiple times, they get crits. And whatever, between the two decks, they do it a little differently. So that's why Luard's been doing pretty well. It just kind of it just does what a deck wants to do.
What was your favorite match that you saw or commentated over?
So early on, it's gonna sound really weird, but early on there was this Prism Highlander deck, and it was just
interesting.
He hit all his stuff. It was so clean. It was it was actually my first commentating match, funnily enough. But this deck was just so like they got the Pearl Sisters out, which have the double crit on them. Remember, I was just saying how Prism can't do that. Well, Highlander Prism can. So this man was just like, oh, okay, here is the grade 2, here's the grade 1 on the first grade 3 ride. Okay, now take 2 crit 38k. Now take 2 crit 38k. And then he just kept doing that every single turn. He hit all his stuff early. It was so funny to watch because people weren't expecting like that kind of deck yet. Like people were expecting like this really boring Prism deck. This guy was tiring. He was playing a gotcha game with his deck and like just hitting random stuff he needs. It was so funny. Outside of that game, so just to give something a little more interest, the Malastorm game, though I didn't commentate it, I was literally watching in the background because I was actually the one doing the card control and the damage. That game, Toku was losing his he was so into this match, and it was just so beautifully watching him. He was like every single time the Maelstrom guy landed a crit, he was like, oh, he was just like he was so into it, and it just made that match just so glorious. I've never seen someone get so excited over triggers like during commentating. So that match was just beautiful to watch. Like it was just so back and forth. The Prism player runs a defense. Oh no, Maelstrom hits a crit. Oh my god, a crit! Like it was so neck and neck. The whole time I'm just like, I literally stopped counting my damage. I was like, oh crap, I'm supposed to be doing stuff. That match was, if there's any match to watch, that's probably one of the best matches in the entire event. That was so good.
So this was like the one Maelstrom guy, right?
Yes, that topped, yes.
So what was like the game plan there with Maelstrom? Like how was it, like how did it get that far?
So deck has 2 win cons. I'm going to talk about the more common one, the one that's a little bit more obvious. But the first win con is you ride into the second Malastorm. The skill set, the one that you ride over the first one, but the one that needs the card and soul, pretty much. It says if you have a Maelstrom and soul, you can counterblast 1. You get your front row gets 10k, and your opponent can't intercept, and they have to guard with 1 card for pretty much the rest of that turn. Now that is the first win con because most decks are running 15k shields and not 20Ks anymore. So your heal triggers can no longer save you. You can pretty much kind of lose. And the only few decks that can go around it is actually Prism, since they have a card called Ellie, which gets 20k power when you place her if you have 1 on drop. But a lot of decks will instantly auto lose to this. They ride into this and you're like, okay, have fun. Try guarding. You can't, you just lose unless you want a defense. Now, there is a second win con, and that's actually the first Maelstrom, the one that restands. This one, the reason why it's good is this guy runs 8 crits in this deck. And a lot of people are going to look at it and go, why would you run crits over fronts? Because you have the second Maelstrom that can gain extra power, blah, 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 blah. The reason for it is in case you don't get to the second Maelstrom in time, you go into the first one. There's a card that says, do something, get a drive check, and can, spam it. So you can do it a couple times. So you can get a bunch of drive checks. Now you have a restand. You have rear guards that say when they hit, that you can restand. And then they have skills that says if you don't hit, you still hit. So what you do is when the Maelstrom attacks on the 3rd or 4th battle, you do your thing, you do your 4 drive check, you hit your crits, and then on the next rearguard that attacks, which will hit because there's skills that make him hit, the Maelstrom restands now with the crits on him with the extra power. You're swinging again for a 4 drive. So essentially what's going on here, you have the pressure of the first Maelstrom and then the guarding restriction to end with the second Maelstrom. So you have 2 ways to kind of kill off your opponent. And this combining makes a really, really brutal and hard to fight deck. And considering the meta is Angel Feather and Prism and Luard, a lot of these decks actually lose to this concept. They don't have the shield, or the most decks run Heal Guardians, and you'll lose either way. Either you have to guard a Kagero deck, because that's pretty much what the first Maelstrom is, or you have to 1-card guard the second Maelstrom, which you just lose to. So that's kind of the focus of it.
Yeah, just hoping that, like, you know, if you're a forced land, you take a trigger on damage that, you know, saves you. But if you're at 4, then
that's why those crits are so good, because you hit those crits early, push your opponent to 4 or 5 damage, and they can't do anything. So good stuff.
Gotta give them credit. I just sucks for anyone who wants to build it, because the original Maelstrom never got reprinted. So.
Yeah, and it's
true.
It came out at like $30 and it never went down.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's been expensive for a while.
Notably bad on release.
Yeah, but it was still
on
like
release.
on release, it was still like $20.
That's incredible.
And it just never went down.
Yeah.
Same thing with Vanquisher. It came out like $30 and then never went
but at least
down.
that card was like really good on release.
Yeah.
I don't like Vanquisher 2 very much, but that's neither here nor there.
Full Bronto.
It's so awkward.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the deck either, but I'm not a big Narukami person, to be honest.
Don't say that too loud. They get a little upset.
Okay, sorry, fam. I mean, it's good. I'm not gonna play it, I guess. I'm just not really a dragon person. I like dragons, but not like enough to play the decks, I guess.
You are so much nicer to Narukami than I am to Link Joker.
You don't like dragons with guns either? Dang.
You will see me like spray painting that little neutron symbol with like a circle with a line through it.
Oh my gosh.
Is that some kind of gang symbol? I just really hate this one thing in a card game I'm gonna run now.
I don't particularly care about Link Joker personally, but I know Atlas despises it.
I literally just bought an entire Ultra Ego Link Joker deck like 10 minutes before we started this, so I can't say anything. I think Philip got me in.
Nice.
All right, gloves are coming off, I guess.
I wish.
I want to play another Force deck. Yeah. I don't know. I'm tired of Prism.
I mean, I'd like other Bermuda archetypes to be good.
I've been trying to make Pacifica work. There's some weird stuff you can do. I mean, currently, because of like Keel Guards and stuff like that, there's a shot for her, but it's just you can't go first with that deck anymore, because if you go first, opponent's just like, all right, let me just G guard here real quick, and everything gets shut down. But yeah, if you hit I run a Coral build and just soul charge like crazy, get all my Pacificas as soon as possible, and then I just go, okay, here's the guard restrict, have fun.
Hey, if you can make it work, you can make it work. That's
it works.
Pretty neat.
It's fun.
So you have prisms.
Yep.
And they're good. Do you plan to keep the deck, or are you going to try and sell it off before? Because there's a ban list coming up. So
yeah, I'm not really much of a seller. I'm more of a keeper. There's like all my decks are here, and more decks over here, and more decks upstairs, and decks over there. I'm not really Bermuda is one of my more favored clans that I enjoy to play, not even competitively, but just even casually. Prism's just one of the few I don't like. I might, if there's someone out there that might really want it, I wouldn't mind giving to them if they just want to just use that as practice or whatever, stuff like that. But I mean, it'll probably stick around. If it gets banned, I might just put it away, and then until next time.
Maybe it comes back later or whatever.
Yeah, it might.
Hey, if something gets banned, I might start playing the deck again.
Oh yeah, true. There's also that.
I played OG. I played G Prism, so I have
true.
I have a vested interest in the archetype, but
didn't I face you with
Yes.
the prism stuff? Yeah, that's right. I have all my. There's a big stack right there of all my prism. They're all right there. All my prism stuff. I still haven't put together. That's actually one thing I might do. I might just convert it to a premium deck. So that might be the other
Yeah.
option, because I do have all the G guards and the regular strides and everything. It just and the PGs and all the other stuff, and I just haven't put it together.
Okay, that's it's always fun. I have Nightmare Dolls.
Best deck. I love that deck.
And like I will play pretty much anything Pale Moon. So I don't know if I want to like sell it for the
Wow,
the,
but won't
the
play
hype.
Gun Salute, huh?
Gun Salute OP, best deck. Let's go. Restanding Kagero Dragon. Let's go. That's what it is. It's fun.
It's funny you say that because there's rumors flying about Greedon in Spike Brothers.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Look, you just can't look.
How about you, Gun Salute, good sir? Except he's in like a pimp outfit.
All right, but
Yeah.
Greedon looks much cooler than Gun Salute.
Oh, totally, for sure.
I don't know. I'm just over here like I play Gun Salute Dragon. I'm not even ashamed of it. It's fun. I run 16 crit. I just go, okay, you're not gonna guard this. Here's a crit. Here's another one. Let me restand real quick. Oh, perfect guard restraint. Take that. Bye.
Sometimes you just live the dream.
Yeah, it's fun. You win that one time. Just that one time, but it feels
And then
good.
it counts, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I did the thing. That's all I wanted.
I just wanted to be a Kagero.
But
deck
can
for
you get
2
to 12
seconds.
attacks with Gun Salute?
Yes, technically.
You can get to about 8 or 9 because you attack with everything, suck everything, and you use Publisher Pieces, bring everything back out.
Can you
So
not?
you can.
Could you not deck out with it in premium at one point? Or did
I
that
don't know
get
about
hit?
premium. I don't play it at premium.
Or did that get hit?
There was like a very convoluted way to knock deck out, but it was like a 12 card combo or something. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there was a way to get like
Infinite loop.
whatever that means in Vanguard.
Yeah. Usually when it's something like that, it's like infinite. If this happens and the Dolphins win the pennant and my dad loves me again, and just
It was the same movie. It was
See-
who needed to win the pennant in Angels Now field? It was the Angels.
It was the Angels,
the whatever they were, the Anaheim Angels at the time needed to win the pennant, and then and then
was
Basically-
Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that, right?
it could as a kid, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
and then
Maya.
yeah,
it's going straight through me.
it's a really
kicker
old movie. It's a
is
really
if
old
the
movie.
If the Dolphins win the pennant, then my
They're in
dad
the
loves
wrong
me again.
sport, right?
Yeah, but that's football. It's whatever.
Okay. Is there I guess there's like a
It's like the
conference
Disney
champion.
movie that came out. Like I remember some Disney movie about something angel and sport related.
Yeah, that's.
I think they made a second one at some point, but with a different sport, like Angels in the End Zone or something, with like
Oh,
for
wow.
football instead of baseball. I don't remember. I only have a vague memories. It could not exist.
I remember Rookie of the Year, the one where
Oh,
the
yeah, I
kid
remember
breaks
that.
his arm and he can like pitch really fast.
I remember that.
Nexus at Night, the baseball movie podcast.
I think you would enjoy that way too much.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, when early in COVID, before the vaccines came out, there was a scare at my work, and we were isolated for a week and a half. And I watched like every baseball movie I could think of.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for your mental state.
Hey man, I got to see Major League and Major League too. It was worth it.
Wow. Incredible. Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm sorry for whoever was in your house during the time. I take it back. They had to keep hearing. "Ah!"
You made it sound like I was playing baseball in my apartment, not just watching movies.
The movie's enough. Oh, the bases are full. What's gonna happen? I don't know. That's all I know about baseball.
Look at this fucking guy. Anyway, so we have some cards that came out this week that are interesting. Quite a few. I don't think we're gonna make it through all of them, but
We can talk about the big ones.
yeah.
Malik. Okay, sorry.
All
Malik
right.
support is OP. No, it's not
Wait,
OP, but it's just fun to see.
Oh, the was it Malik is
Malkuth.
Malkuth, yeah.
Oh right. That was a card.
I didn't have time to upload the little screenshot things onto here, so we're just doing this audioly. Sorry, video viewers, but if anyone wants to pick one at their leisure, go for it.
Blame this guy. Blame him.
Mhm.
Just blame Atlas.
All his fault.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
No.
You're going the wrong way. What is this? Who's over there?
Look.
Just blame this guy.
It's reversed. So
I got that.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
See, you're
See what
above
I mean?
me,
So
so
I
that's
wanna
easy.
it feels like I'm pointing toward orange, but I'm pointing away from it. So if I do this,
I'm very directionally challenged. Okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
aren't we all? All right. Do we want to start out with that prison grade 4 just to make it easy?
Yeah,
All
That's
right.
the
you're
biggest
the prison
one.
expert.
Really?
You're the only one here who plays it, so you're
I play
the
it.
expert. Okay.
Okay, please.
It's just not my
have
main
at it,
thing.
orange.
Oh wait. I mean, I don't remember what the skill is exactly. I don't have the.
I will read it.
All right, go for
I mean,
it.
All right.
I
So
also have it up, but
it's a grade 4 triple drive. Yada yada yada. Aurora Feast Princess Seraph Pure Light. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, you can counterblast one Soul Blast Soul Blast a card with Seraph in its card name specifically. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from each their hand, soul, and among their rear guards, and imprisons them into the prisons.
Yep.
And then during your turn, all of your front row units get power plus 5,000 for every 2 of your opponent's cards imprisoned in your prison. And if there are 10 or more, all your front row units get crit plus 1.
Isn't that cute? This is how
Holy
adorable.
crap! What is this?
I know.
It's very
right?
good.
It's a card.
They made Trishula into Vanguard, and
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
this is just huge.
Yeah,
Absolutely massive.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
kind of, and it gets itself, and it can get itself to like 6 out of 10 just by existing.
mhm.
Yeah, pretty much. Granted, it is on place, and one of the downsides, I guess, to the card is you once you soul blast that one out, because I think most people are talking about running just the 4 copies of grade 4, just the ride line. That's it. So once you do that skill once, that's it. You're kind of just stuck with it. Like you don't get the first half the imprisoned part anymore.
You could write it again because it has Seraph in it.
Oh, true. Oh, is this the question?
It just needs Seraph.
Does the grade 4? So it does work. So if you
Yes.
write on top, you'll get the skill still.
Yeah.
Okay, actually,
Yeah.
then JK, I take it back. Fair enough.
So-
It seems like the new prison support is worded to support this new one because it's not Seraph Snow.
Mhm.
I don't think Prism had very many like specific Seraph
Nope.
Snow cards.
I don't think they had any. I think most of them were prison based.
Mhm.
Yep.
There were
Yeah,
some that did.
A lot of it was just like if you have X number of cards in prison, do Y thing.
Yeah.
This thing definitely makes Lemon more good because it helps you get to that like magic 5, I think it was.
Mhm.
That
I mean,
she
it
needs
gets
for
you
the
past that just by existing.
yeah, just by yourself. Another thing is that this is the first card I can think of that screws with the opponent's soul,
Yep.
Yeah.
which that's new. I don't think I remember like being like, oh, what if they do it, and it just never happens.
Isn't
till now.
Amon like on its way towards
Armand
that
is
too?
going to do that too.
Yeah. I
Probably,
mean, it's in V
yeah.
Premium, so it's different formats.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But, and
But-
also like Amon, I think, is going to like force things into the soul and get benefits from that, if I remember correctly. So not quite the same,
yeah.
Just
depending
think,
on how they implement it.
if this card sees more play, Zorga will have even less soul than normal.
Well, that's why you can run the grade 2 girl that says if you have no soul charge 2, and then you can use that same soul instantly, and then just negate.
There's
that
there's
part.
nothing to imprison.
Yep,
yeah,
sit it zero.
if they have no board, then
Yeah, you can negate that a little bit, but like that means you have to constantly use all your soul and recall back that card every single turn to get the 2 soul back to then just soul blast it again. You'll just have to keep doing that against that deck.
Yeah, I think
Honestly-
Zorga's a little copium.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's such a fun deck. It needs a
Yeah.
little bit more, but it's getting there.
Trying to avoid imprisonment is kind of impossible. It's more what you plan to do with those imprisoned cards
Yep.
that I
Mhm.
think is what people like, what works better against prison. Also, another thing, Snow's whole plan is to get that triple drive online. This just has it.
Yep.
Yep.
So, like, compared to something like the Nirvana grade 4 that we saw, where we're
Or
like,
even the
"Oh,
Magnolia one. Like I
Yeah.
think this is the first one where it's just like a straight upgrade.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just you're doing the ride line for this. Boom, you're done.
Can't wait to see what Bruce has in store for us.
Oh God. No. Or Bastion. What's
Running
Bastion
away.
going to do to us?
Oh, I forgot Bastion existed.
Yeah, we're gonna see them
know,
both
right?
probably in the
Yeah.
upcoming episode.
Mhm.
All of your cards in Trigger Zone get grade +3.
No, that's boring.
Our grade
Yeah.
3s.
That's boring.
Your
Yeah.
entire deck becomes grade 3s.
There we go.
Just everything. Everything's a grade 3. It says it gets the new skill in red text. All this card is counted as a grade 3 in deck, on board, and in hand.
And then it says reveal 5 different grade 3s.
Mhm.
Do some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're going to print a $3 bill, and it's just going to be Bastion.
Nope. Just get a quad drive. You already have a triple drive. Get a quad.
Yeah, right.
Surprised nothing has
Here,
a
have a
quad.
Penta one.
I'm sure we'll get there.
Slowly.
We
Yeah,
already.
I mean-
this is OD.
Keter already has a drive checking rear guard that people I think are just playing because they're really friggin' bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
And-
Let's go.
And then your OT gives stuff drive checks. I think the closest you can get to Penta Drive or Sextuple Drive is in Great Nature if you just mill triggers off of Managar Malrum.
Mhm.
Because I've done that
Well,
before. Right?
I
You mill
mean,
4
there-
triggers and that's Septuple Drive.
I forget which Magus it was, but there was one that actually did get like Penta Drive, I think.
There you go.
You can still, if there is a new Bastion that still cares about grade 3s, you can still form up a Chosen Knights on this person, right?
Mhm.
And just quad drive it up anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it would be more effort
Yeah.
because it's one less grade 3 unit that you have, so you'd have to have 4 other grade 3s on board.
Mm-hmm.
I also am curious. So the inability to imprison 2 things every turn with this, where you just do it on ride and then that's it. You
Mhm.
have to run other stuff that allows you to keep the prison count up so you can get that second skill online,
Mhm.
which is also something to consider. Where it's easier to just get your 3 so you can get your triple drive. Now it's like you got to get to 10 and then either hope you can keep it up or just kill them, which is
I
a
mean,
possibility.
it gives the power +5 for every 2 in prison, so like,
Yeah. And
I think
if you
on
do
its
your roll
own,
for
it just
rogue,
gives your like on its own for its ride skill, it gives your front row +15k.
Yeah. Even if you're like less imprisonment, you could still have the extra front and just kind of go.
Mhm.
One interesting dynamic of this card is that usually, so there's 2 ways to remove cards from prison, and that's either counterblasting or soul blasting.
Mm-hmm.
And it effectively trades. It basically says, I'm going to take one of those resources away from you while imprisoning stuff, which is
Yeah.
also a very interesting dynamic to the card.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that you're more likely to have to counterblast in order to reduce that number. So it's unlikely that I think the number of cards in prison gets reduced when you play this card.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more painful to remove units from prison.
Can't wait to see this in action. It sounds so spooky.
I don't. As someone whose best deck right now is Nirvana, I don't like this card.
That's very fair. Nirvana's very resource reliant. I mean, as a Zorga main, I'm with you.
Or just dies. It just dies to prison because you
Yes, because
overdress and you're like, fuck
And a
you.
trickster.
and-
2 for 1 deal. Thank you.
Nope. Yeah, it makes Nirvana very irrelevant, at least if to anytime prison's like main deck, because it's like, okay, I can't do anything. I'll just have these tricksters on the board all game.
Yeah. Maybe moving to Arms Lady.
Arms
Just don't play
lady?
Nirvana.
True.
Easy
mean,
answer.
The poll was done. He has to SP out Arms Lady.
Yes.
What is Arms Lady?
I don't remember. how to
Bazarva, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. The
Yeah.
new trial stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Oh
just gonna
right,
call-
literally Arms, the shield and sword girl. Gotcha.
Yes. I'm just gonna call her Arms Lady because I don't feel like trying to pronounce her name.
Bazar Vagana or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Like that deck can at least do something with just the arms cards. So
True.
like.
Equipped.
Mhm.
How about we take a look at these 2 Stoichea skeleton-looking thingies?
Yes, the hints that Zorga's getting a 4th and 5th attack. Perfect.
The grade 2 and 3. So the first one here is Enthralled Dragon, which is a grade 2 with 10k. Auto on rare at the end of your turn. If you played an order as Alchemagic, or if the total number of attacks you made that turn is 5 or higher, you may put this unit into your soul. If you do, countercharge 1. That's how you do combined support.
Yeah,
Yep, it's for
pretty
both.
sweet.
It works in Magnolia, and it'll in the future work on Zorka.
And works with Flagbird. All that good stuff.
Oh,
Very
true,
neat.
it does. I forgot about that deck.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna
This is
lie.
really nice for Flagberg. It's like a counter charge and a soul charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's Prize Trident with Flagbird and Magnolia, which is just when you hit the 5th attack, it goes into soul and you countercharge. This one lets you keep it on board, and then at the end you recoup your
Yeah,
your
which is
loss
really
on
nice.
that. So you can run one or both, and they both kind of do the same job. You can kind of run this in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Ugh.
like this is clearly designed to work in everything, right? Because they
That's
know
perfect.
Magnolia is like the multi-attack deck,
No,
and with the new one, you can guarantee 5 attack with your whole back row having a back row attacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about this grade 3, Orange? You want to read that one? The other skeleton-looking thing that looks like the plague mask, plague
Let me
doctor
find
mask.
somewhere to read this.
Oh,
Oh, we just got more stuff on top of that. Oh.
ooh,
Yeah.
We can read those too in a second.
You said the grade 3?
Yeah.
The usurping
Auto.
decay.
Auto from drop. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is placed, you may call this card to rear.
Yep.
So-
Well, I mean, it's an interesting one. It's good. Like, obviously works for Persona writing, works with the new grade 4s. It's a way to get a unit on the board if you're playing a deck that's really weak against board control, which is like all of them.
It's okay. I think the only deck it really works with perfectly is like Magnolia and I would say Zorga.
Depending on like what a Flagberg deck ends up looking like, it might be useful there because you need to have the extra attacks. So just having a unit on the board to begin with.
It is pretty free. One thing I like about it is that there's literally no cost. You just have to ride. So as long as it's in drop, you just ride and you get it.
Just
I
play
think-
1 to ditch to the ride line, and then just ride
Yeah.
grade 3. And get
Yep,
it.
and you get it back.
I feel like Magnolia. I think you're right. Magnolia probably takes the best advantage of it because it has wild intelligence.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's okay. Orange runs Wild Intelligence in her Zorga list, so
Oh, there you go.
All right.
tell you
it
what.
works.
I may actually,
Alchemagic is wild intelligence.
I may end up putting this in Grey Nature and Premium because you can search it with all of the plethora of things that Grey Nature has, and then ditch it for Stride, ditch it for PG, whatever. And then when you go into, Valor or whatever free thing that you can then buff up, it dies. Do it again next turn, comes back. It's a free warm body that you can then kill and reuse over and over.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's just a lot of use. It's very free.
yeah.
It just exists.
It doesn't
Usually when we use the phrase "it just exists," it's got a negative connotation to it,
Right.
Oh,
and in your case, it's got a positive connotation.
I say this about myself all the time. So yeah, like literally you click my Discord stats right now. It literally says I exist. Heart. So
I
it just
exist.
opposite of the I exist for me. I exist.
it's just more of a I exist because a lot of people are like, you're this and that, and I'm like, I don't know, I just exist like this. Like my entire existence just goes around me doing what I do.
They also randomly came out with some V Premium promos. One for Angel Feather and one for Nubatama. Where the hell did they go?
I got it.
Yeah, thank you.
There's Serrated Saw Angel. It is a grade 1. If you have a Vanguard with Malkuth Melek in its card name, you can counterblast 1, bind itself to choose a card from your soul with Malkuth in its name, put it on top of your deck, and if you did not ride this turn, you can ride that card as stand instead of putting it on top of your deck.
Yep.
I don't remember what either Malkuth does to know if this is good or not.
It's decent because there's already a card that kind of does it. My roommate plays the heck out of this deck, so I kind of know it a lot.
One of our patrons actually plays Malkuth in premium, and the second Malkuth, Shin Malkuth or whatever, when you damage check it, you can then ride it, which then
Hit marker.
immediately get the protect marker and stop the damage.
Yep.
Unless it's the first of two, because you oh wait, no, it still
No, you just get it. Like it's just
Yeah, you just
automatic.
get
As
it.
long as
Yeah.
it's not the new one that's on your Vanguard, you get it.
Yeah. So the idea is that like you still get the new protect marker, and if not, then you just set it up for that for the next turn or whatever.
It's just a very heavy rewriting deck, honestly. So my roommate's been building it out. It's actually when it hits because he plays the variant where he puts like the Feather Palace in and all that stuff, and he puts in the grade 2, grade 1 protect 2 girls that hit for 52 with a guard restrict on them. So it's actually if you have that the girls and then you have the Feather Palace, the only column you can guard is the middle column because Feather Palace has a guard restrict and the girls have a guard restrict. So yeah.
Hope they don't crit you. Yeah.
Yeah, this deck certainly like Turbo's Feather Palace, don't it?
It really does because you're constantly rewriting grade 3s. It's very, very turbo. This card in particular, there's already a card that kind of does what this promo does. So what my roommate was explaining is that it's okay if it didn't have that skill that says if you did not ride, the card would actually be like top tier. But because it's forcing you to because you could do it like 3-4 times. It's very counterblast costly, but you can potentially get 3-4 markers in a turn. But because it does have that restriction on it, it's not like it's very tame because there's a card that exists that kind of already does the same thing.
Yeah, but hey, like more copies of your card is always good.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If you need to find it, although that's pretty funny because like you say 3-4 counterblast, but Feather Palace just turns face down what you have. Yep. If it's already face down, it doesn't.
You just get it.
Exactly. Oh no!
Exactly.
The other one is Evil Stealth Dragon Gyokusen. For Nubatama, it's a grade 1. When your grade 3 Vanguard is placed, you can counterblast 1 to add this card to your hand from drop zone, or choose one grade 3 from Soul and add it to your hand. If you added from Soul, you bind the card. And then also, when this card is returned to your hand from Rearguard by your card ability, you can Soul Blast 1 and call 2 Evil Decoy tokens to empty Rearguard circles. I haven't really seen anybody playing Nubatama recently.
I forgot Nubatama had Evil Decoy tokens.
Yeah.
Me too.
I have no comment.
I'm still eternally upset that they got the bouncing mechanic instead of Bermuda for the longest time.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
At least it supports multiple things that Nubatama wants to do. So on paper, it seems nice. Comment Nubatama stands out there at Nexus at Night on Twitter. How is this thing?
Do it.
I'm not going to go through. Let's not go through all the promos, but the last two that got revealed tonight as we're recording this. Matt, you want to read that first one?
Sure. Sealed Blaze Dragon Adalra. So it's a grade 3, and when it's placed on Rearguard Circle, if there's an arms card in your Vanguard Circle, if there's one arms card in your Vanguard Circle, you can counterblast 1 and choose an arms card from your hand or drop, and your Vanguard arms it. So because you can only play one order a turn, right? So it does the second one for you. And then continuous Rearguard Circle during your turn. If there are 2 or more arms cards in your Vanguard Circle, it's power plus 5,000.
18k beater. More importantly, gets you your arms faster.
Yeah. A lot of people are waiting for a card like this to officially make the arms deck like fun or accelerate it a little bit faster. So
yeah, if you had to play one arms a turn, like with I think the one arm that lets you play another, it would be kind of upsetting.
Yes.
I would not be pleased with that one.
Either that or they would have had to like make the arms a thing where it's like, if you
especially
ride over
because
you
can't search out the spear to guarantee that you can play both.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hooray, consistency. Confetti.
Yeah.
Ride decks. Woo! They're consistent.
The other one is Flame Kicking Monk Kuke, grade 3 for Dragon Empire. When this unit is placed on rear, you can counterblast 1. If you do, choose a grade 0 card from your drop, call it to Rearguard Circle in the same column as this unit, and this unit gets boost until end of turn.
It's not bad. I mean,
So
it's not
he-
bad for that whole Trickstar combination thing they
Oh,
can
that's
do.
true.
So what
But
are you
if-
gonna boost with the Trickstar? No, friend. I'm gonna boost the
With the grade
Trickstar.
3.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna multi-attack. Just you
Ah.
wait
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah.
Big Trickstar.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It seems like just more support for the usual grade 0 shenanigans.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just hard to find room for things that don't have the word overdress printed on them.
Mm.
This is very fair.
Why?
That's
Just
why I
because
sold my
like
deck.
you sold your deck?
One of the few decks I sold, yeah, I bought it, and then the next week I was like, this crap is too expensive. I'm just gonna sell it. Bye. Because like every single time I look at Dragon Empire, it's like $20 card, $15 card, $12 card, $17.99 card. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna want to invest into this every single time because every single time the stuff drops, it's always the most expensive. So I'm like, you know what? Y'all can have your dragons. Be here with my undeads and my mermaids.
Right.
It's fine.
Unless you what's it called? Unless you are Eugene. Eugene is like
I do have my Eugene deck because
There you go, yeah.
it's my uncle's name, and I actually think that deck's kind of fun. So I do have that deck.
I sold it to somebody and
$20?
For what? $10?
That's all
I
I'm saying.
I bought the deck for 20 and I sold it for 40, mostly because the Todi
What kind of
Darashi,
stupid
the
idiot
one,
did you find to sell it for? Sorry, I'm
Todi,
done.
Todi Darashi, when you discard it, it goes into Soul.
Yeah,
There were 4 of those in there, and that made up like the bulk of the price.
that card's
Um,
expensive.
It's like $8-9. So
It is a pretty important card for Dragon
Overlord,
really.
Overlord, right? The other
Overlord, yeah.
dragons. It's expensive because of the dragons.
yeah, so that was the bulk of the cost, and I was like giving the guy a deal. So
Also,
yeah.
Nirvana needs Soul for Urger, so you play it in that too.
The other dragons. Got it.
Do you like how most of the price of the Gravidia deck is going to be in Meteors?
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, you only need like 16
I mean, that'll be nice
copies.
for me. I
Oh,
just
easy.
spent like $500 on a tablet. I'd like cheap cards.
Hey, it's a tablet. That's useful. You can like do stuff with it.
Just put your cards on top of the tablet.
That's right.
Uh,
If you
why,
buy
why,
an,
why won't this show when I'm drawing on it?
I remember somebody making a joke where they basically were like proxying a deck with iPhones, where each iPhone had a different card on it.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
It's like, that seems very expensive.
That's a very expensive sketch for someone to film.
It's a lot of forbidden droplets.
Oh, yeah.
Duplicate the iPhone, and you can just duplicate the image. The like you can duplicate the video of the iPhone,
Yeah.
and then that way you
that's
can
right.
proxy it.
Yeah.
I
Proxy
mean, that's just a
iPhones.
thought. That's the cheap way to do it.
Yeah, that's the cheap way to do it. But like somebody who came up with that idea was like, I'm gonna buy, 60 iPhones, 40 iPhones,
Or just find your friends.
Yeah.
Find 60
Like,
friends.
grab your friends, go grab all of your old phones that's sitting in your drawer because you were too lazy to trade it in.
Yeah.
And
then there's that
don't
one
hurt
guy-
me like this.
And then there's that one guy who has an Android, and you're like, Jeff, can you just
Can you
hey,
not?
like,
Can you
not?
just stop being such an Android boy? Just can you not?
I think it was.
Can you? Not? Can you?
I think what's more possible is that if somebody like works in phone repair, you probably have like just a bunch of random iPhones laying around.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
This one place I went to go get my phone repaired like about 6 months ago keeps sending me stuff. Like it's called You Break I Fix, right?
Mhm.
And they're just like, you break I fix, you bring phone in, and I'm like, yeah, but like, are you implying that you want my phone to break? And you're like, hey man, you haven't been here in about 6 months. We're gonna find you, and we're gonna drop your phone on the floor.
We'll do it for you,
Yeah.
We'll do it for you.
and then we'll say you broke it, so we can fix it.
You
Yeah.
didn't pay protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you not get the 2-year warranty? What's wrong with you?
Oh my God, Orange! Thank you so much for coming on Nexus at night.
It was nice to be here.
Nice to have you back. Where can people find you and follow you and all that good stuff?
You can find me on YouTube as OuterOrange, which is right here, right there. Or if you're just OuterOrange. Or you can find me on Twitter, which is just outer_orange. I don't know. I want to be different. Or you can find me on Twitch. I do streams every now and then. I haven't been recently because of BRO and testing and stuff like that, but I do stream sometimes. And yeah, those are my main locations.
Or if it's in my nightmares, it's somebody chasing me going outer orange.
Yeah, this guy right over here.
Yeah.
Even I don't have dreams like that, and it's my own intro.
I have no idea why it was, but forever.
I'm so sorry. I
Hey.
feel bad for you.
It's not your fault, I guess.
I created the intro.
Yeah, but you didn't have the intent of.
That means it's an effective intro.
There you go. Yeah.
Outer orange.
Yeah. I can't. Like it rained in LA today, and being from California, you're like, oh my god, rain. And then after having watched Parasite, I'm like, oh man, some people are really suffering under this. Fuck. Like that's how you know it's good. It sticks with you. Where can they find the rest of us?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs, 2Zs.
You can find me on Twitter at Plasma Eclipse.
You can find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us at Nexus at Night in those same places. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/Nexus at Nights. $5 a month. That's just the price of a cup of coffee. You get a whole extra podcast every month and also cool bonus content. Thank you to our $10 patrons, Darren, Cole, Josh, and Jeremy. And thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next time. I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
I'm an orange. That's outer.
Have a good night, everybody.